CT, Danny Liff, and Julisi boy. We up right now, locking up your Saturday. Tell your bookie send my payment. Lot of opinions, but we only care about one statement. It's Boston Eddie Cappers, yeah. 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 Boston Eddie Cappers.
Welcome into the Monday opener. I am Dan Lifshatz here I am your host, Dan Lifshatz, here with my partner in crime, CT Bets, Mr. Chris Thurston, CT Bet 16. CT, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Not too much, partner. It's been kind of downhill for me since the Buckeyes game on late Saturday night. I had an unbelievable week up until then. I hadn't lost a game. That was the first game I lost all week. Even had some NBA in there, a couple college hoops games, and
college hockey game. Or did you
not
post that?
That's right. I forgot I gave you that too.
Yeah.
It was great. And then yesterday was nothing short of a disaster. Every game I gave outside of the Lions on this show last week lost yesterday. Luckily, I added Green Bay about a couple hours before the game. And last night I held my Chiefs CLV trophy in the air because right before that game kicked, it was 5.5. I had a really bad feeling in my stomach about the game. Do you think I got off of it? Fuck no.
Not a prayer. Not a prayer.
No.
Why would you? No, I look, I understand it. I don't think if I was in that situation, I don't think I would have gotten off either. I think that's kind of the way it goes. So we got a lot to cover today. Drew Stevens checking in. That CT Packers Super Bowl future does look good. I was getting CT some shit about it a couple weeks ago. It looks very good after yesterday. We both on Green Bay.
Yeah.
We were both on Green Bay, so that was good. Our guy Titan CT checking in. Evening, fellas. What's going on? So we do have a lot to talk about. Pig Floyd checking in. Got to address PT in Vegas. Maybe I'm just not understanding what the deal is there, but that's okay. But let's start with our VIVA thoughts of the week, and of course, when we do that, we talk about our sponsorship of VIVA. The Monday opener episode of the Boston Handicappers Network is brought to you by VIVA Tequila Seltzer. With only 88 calories and a 4.5% ABV, VIVA Tequila Seltzer is the most refreshing seltzer out there. Clean, light, and dangerously drinkable, made with real tequila and bold flavors like huckleberry and grapefruit. Viva fares perfectly with a winning ticket and some football. That's right, we still have football going on. And right now, you can get 30% off all orders at vivatequilaseltzer.com using code BOS30 at checkout. Again, vivatequilaseltzer.com, vivatequilaseltzer.com. That's code BOS30. Viva, live long, live well, live it up. Viva. So checking in here. Raiders in the full game. Sure. We can certainly aggress Raiders in the full game. Sure. Not a problem with that. Not a surprise. All these guys know the fucking spreads. Raiders had a chance to cover. They did it. I mean, look, it's not like that unusual. These guys are probably betting on their teams when they want to. Like, not exactly a shocker.
I had nothing in the game, so this is just my unbiased opinion, right? Because I got asked this question a couple times today.
Yeah,
I thought that the penalty was ridiculous to call on Denver to begin with.
Agreed.
Okay, and like the game was over, but then like on the other hand, like okay, when they called it, I do agree with kicking the field goal there. Like you have almost zero chance, right? To win that game. But if you kick the field goal and you kick the onside kick, I guess it gives you like somewhat of a prayer to get something to recover it. Maybe you return it. I don't know, but I do agree with that.
Yeah, you're hoping that you kick the field goal. There's like a second or two remaining. You kick the onside kick, you recover it, and there's a penalty, and then you throw a Hail Mary on the untimed down. Like that. That's right. What you're looking for there. And it's stupid, but if you throw the Hail Mary, you're not gonna have enough time to catch the Hail Mary. So like the reality is it's the right decision in a really stupid fucking game. And so that's that's where we are. So there's my address there. We'll definitely get to the Finns there. Let's talk about, and of course we'll talk about our guy came in there. Let's talk about the playoffs, CT.
Yeah.
A lot of guys feel very a certain type of way about this. I tweeted out before about 5-10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes before the show. I tweeted out, I said Notre Dame plus 790 to miss the playoffs is a ridiculously stupid number.
Yeah.
It went from 790 to 1120. I bet 790. I bet 1120. I was able to get down through a few people who helped me get down a little bit. Not to mention, you could get down at some other prediction marketplaces, which we don't want to mention, but we can. Obviously, there's the ability to do that. There were better odds there as well. So there were multiple avenues to get down on this. Monday, when Jules and I did the show, they did the show, whatever, and they had the lady speak afterwards, and I recorded it. I can't remember her name, but whatever. She said two things that really stuck out to me. One, that they weren't going to penalize conference champions. And to me, that meant, okay, they're not going to penalize conference champions who are in the field. I thought that was very obvious for everyone, right? Like, you're not going to penalize, you can penalize BYU. They're not in the field. You have 10 spots for the field, and you have, the 5 highest, whatever fucking champions, and you got wild card spots. BYU, as of then, was not in the field. So they can penalize them. They can penalize Duke. They can penalize Virginia if they're not in the field. If they're in the field, they're not going to penalize them. To me, it was pretty simple. It made sense. Yeah. Hey, they're playing an extra game. We're not going to penalize them for playing an extra game when everyone else doesn't have to. Like, it doesn't make sense. And I completely and utterly agree with that. If you're in the field and you're playing an extra game, sucks to suck, you're in. That's the way it works. The other thing that happens is, if you don't want that to happen, conferences are going to stop playing conference championships. It's what I talked about last week. It's what we talked about last year, CT. And we said, if you want to have it done like this, and this is the way it's going to be, you have to value conference championships, and you can't penalize teams. Yep. So they took that into account, and they changed that this year. So that made all the sense in the world. I agree with not moving Alabama out. I don't give a fuck if you don't like it. Sucks to suck. Suck my dick. It's fucking stupid that you don't fucking like it. It's so stupid. Do you want conference championships to be played? If the answer is yes, Alabama is in. If the answer is no, they're going to stop playing them. That's the reality. That is where we are. So you can have it one of two ways. You can either have no conference championship games, or you can not count them or not value them, where you can only move up. That's it. That is where we are with it. There's only two ways that you can value them. The other way that you can look at conference championship games is a BYU or a James Madison or Tulane, where you have to win to get in, which also makes sense to me, right? All three of those teams needed to win essentially to get in, and then needed Virginia to lose. So yes, none of those teams were in the field premeditated. They were not in the field before the championship week happened. So there's a huge difference between playing a conference championship when you're in the field and when you're not in the field. That is, I don't know why people cannot comprehend this. It's a huge difference. Okay. That is why Alabama. So I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's the difference. Okay.
I'm with you. I totally agree. I think you laid it out perfect. And listen, I thought BYU was a joke all season long, right? They proved me and you wrong how many times, right?
Yep.
I do feel for them a little bit. You lost twice to a very, very good Texas Tech team. Fair. And you were in your conference championship game. Like, I got a little sympathy for you.
That's fair. My only counter to that will be, again, they were not in that top 10, which is where the cutoff was, right?
Yep.
And so therefore you knew that they weren't in the field. But I do tend to agree. Like, if you're asking me who is it, who would I rather have in? Would I consider BYU? Yes.
Yeah.
Would I put BYU in over Texas and Vanderbilt? Myself personally, I wouldn't.
No,
I wouldn't. Like, I think a 3-loss Texas team is probably more deserving, and a 2-loss Vanderbilt team is definitely more deserving. So to me, I would have those two teams over BYU, but I also understand your point of view on this, CT.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So I was just kind of switching gears here, right? And then going to Rudy's comment, okay?
Yep.
All right. If you want to highlight it,
sure.
Cut the shit with the G5 teams. Okay, right. I get it. But Dan, at the same time, you cannot have these teams play all year long just for their conference championship and not allow at least one of them to get in.
Yeah.
One G5 team should be allowed to get in.
Agreed.
And let's look at what we do in March, right? We live for the dogs and the
16 seeds
and right.
Yeah.
But you can't have it both ways. It's a shame that there's two of them in this year, in my opinion. Boise deserved last year to be in. That was not a typical G5 team.
Agreed.
That was a legit fucking Power 4 team, okay?
Agreed.
And a conference champ, obviously. But you can't just say that all these G5 teams can't be involved in the playoff. You just can't do it.
So I agree. So here's my problem is, who did you want to put in? Did you want, because it's the 5 highest rated conference championships that they did it so that basically you got automatically 5 Power 5 schools in, because you're assuming that that's the case. But when you have a team like Tulane that beats Duke in the middle of the season, it's just ridiculous. So look, I get it. I understand the frustration for having 2 in. I think it's stupid, but it's ridiculous. So
yeah,
would you want? They couldn't put Duke in. They couldn't put Duke in. It literally could not happen.
Right? Yeah. Could not.
Yeah. Right. So they put in JMU. I don't like it because I think JMU kind of sucks. Although I do think that this would be an interesting game for them. I think they actually match up pretty well versus Oregon. But so it's a weird game. It's a weird situation. What they really should do is 4 Power 4. They should make it 4 Power 4 schools, and we should start recognizing as a fan base and fans, the ACC is not a Power 5 conference. I've been preaching it for years, and you know me, CT. I've told you how much I think the ACC sucks. They're fucking garbage. They're not a Power 5 conference, so that the Mountain West was markedly better than them the last few years. Not this year, but markedly better than them. And so now we're at the point where we have to start treating it as 4 Power 5 conferences. ACC's on the verge of being a Power 4, but not quite a Power 4, and they're not quite a Power 5, a group of 5. And this is one that's also been asked from Ethan. Thoughts on Notre Dame now getting auto bid? Absolutely fucking not. Blow me, Notre Dame. Suck my dick. Join a conference. You watch it. You chose money. You chose NBC over joining a conference. This is on you. I don't feel bad for you at all. This is 100% on you. Don't lose to Texas A&M by 1 on your own field. Don't lose to Miami, who's part of the ACC. Don't lose. Yep. Sucks to suck. Like, again, you can't have it both ways, guys. You can't say, oh, let's give Notre Dame an auto bid. That basically makes the regular season completely irrelevant. That's fucking stupid. I don't want that either. Nope. No thanks at all. I want the format now is perfect, except change it from top 5 to top 4. Fans need to start recognizing, and so do college football programs, ACC football, not a Power 5 program. They're not. They're a Power 4 program. That's where it should be. It should be the SEC, should be the Big 10, the Big 12. That's it.
So I agree with everything you said about Notre Dame. Okay. And you can only blame yourself. Like, you got to go into the season thinking, when you look at your schedule, you have to split to start the year. You have to at least go 1-1 to make the playoff. You can't go 0-2, then run the table, then expect to get in. Here's where I have the problem. Here's where I have the problem with the fucking ESPN dumb fucking Tuesday night TV show moneymaker bullshit. You cannot have that fucking show for the last how many weeks and say that ND is in, and then go back and not have it on this past Tuesday at their end, and then go on Sunday morning and say, oh yeah, okay, I guess we're idiots and we'll go back to week 1 and Miami beat them. You can't fucking do that.
I completely agree. It's insane. Just pick a fucking lane. Pick a fucking lane. Pick a lane. Pick a lane. If you want to value the tiebreaker and the head-to-head, can you value it 2 weeks ago? Why are we valuing it on the last day when everyone's complete? Now, they did say that they were going to do that on Tuesday. That's what they said they were going to do. And I thought it was fucking stupid then. But I listened to them and said, okay, they're definitely going to do this.
Yeah, your reasoning was great. And that was an unbelievable hit. That was great.
But the thought process and the actual way that they're doing it is fucking so stupid. Get rid of it. If you can't figure it, if you're going to just string everyone along to fucking switch these teams up, I mean, how many kids did they fucking just ruin the lives of? A lot. Like I don't feel bad for Notre Dame, the program. I feel bad for the kids who play for Notre Dame because it's bullshit. I agree. Miami should have been in based upon the head-to-head. But don't tell me that Notre Dame is better for 3 weeks in a row and then flip them because BYU lost. That makes absolutely no sense to me. It's a completely insane, flawed process. So it's stupid. That being said, there's no perfect answer to this, but that isn't either. There's no perfect situation where you can just say, this is the situation, it's easy. We hated the BCS. We hated a number of different things. So there's never going to be this is a perfect system. Everyone's going to have a problem with it. No doubt about it. But
and I agree, Rudy. Yes, I'm well aware they're a top fucking 2 team in my opinion. I would have them favored to pretty much everybody outside of Ohio State still, but they only have themselves to blame.
Yep.
I agree. I thought they were going to win the national championship if they got in. Okay.
Yeah, I get it. And I probably have them like 4 or 5, but still, they're a top 5 team, man. They're in power ratings, the raw power rating, they're a top 5 team. For I think every single person who knows what they're talking about, knows what they're doing in the entire market. Notre Dame's a top 5 team, power rating wise. The quarterback's gotten significantly better. The defense significantly improved. The coaching's gotten better. Everything's gotten better. And yes,
the run game.
Right, 100%. So Rudy makes a point. The process is extremely flawed. I agree.
Absolutely.
But there's never going to be a perfect process, right? The process is always going to be flawed to a degree. But what we can fix is this fucking flip-floppy bullshit with Miami and Notre Dame. If Miami's in, just fucking say that they're in.
Correct.
Put them 11, put BYU 12, right?
Yep.
And say Miami is gonna miss the playoffs by a spot. We value Notre Dame's whatever, and it doesn't matter whatever the committee's logic is. Me and CT and all you guys can sit home and say that's fucking stupid. We fucking hate this, yada yada yada. But you know what? At least it's their process and whatever. It's fine. The flip flopping, and I completely agree with you, Chris. The flip-flopping is just it's mind-numbingly stupid. Yeah. It's so stupid. And I mean, Notre Dame's resume got better. Boise won the Mountain West. They beat Boise by 21. So their resume got better, not worse. No one that Miami played. So their resume did not get better. So Notre Dame's resume got better and they still got fucked. Now, if you're asking me who deserves to get in, my answer would still be Miami. Miami won the head-to-head. Yep. Miami had the same record. Miami played in a Power 4, technically, whatever.
Agreed with you. Yep.
So I don't have a problem with the result. It's the process that's fucking stupid.
Yep.
I hate it. And so they got to fix it next year. They can't do this again. They did listen to us last year when we all complained about the conference championship games. And we said, this is fucking stupid. You can't kick someone out of the conference because of the conference championship. So they listened to us this year. Now everyone's mad about that. You can't have it both ways. You got to pick a lane. Okay. I tweeted out, got to pick a lane. I'm okay with if you're in before the conference championship game, you're fucking in. I'm okay with that. That absolutely works. So again, Ethan's going to say, how is it justifiable that Bama doesn't fall a spot? Because I just told you, conference championship games, they are in, Ethan. So they're the part of the 10, but they were one of the top 9 teams before they played conference championship. They have a win over Georgia. They're a 9th team. Why is it fair that Bama has to play an extra game to get in and no one else does? Why is that fair? The answer is it's not fucking fair. And if anyone used their brain to just think about, hey, what's a good process to make sure the regular season is super valuable and the conference championship is super valuable? Okay, Bama can move up in the conference championship, but we're not going to kill them if they lose. Even if they lose badly, we're not going to kill them if they lose. The regular season is now valuable because Bama's top 9. That's the way it is. Yep. Bang, bang. It's a very good system. You value both. Not equally, but you value both enough. And the conference championship also allows teams like BYU. They allow Tulane or North Texas. They allow James Madison. They allow the fringier teams to get in. or Virginia. They allow all those teams. So conference championships hold value and the regular season holds value. There's no perfect process.
Yep.
That's the way it's going to be. So you have to come up with something. I think the process is good. Outside of the flip-flopping, there's no excuse for that.
Yeah, these are a few tweets. Yeah, it's unfortunate. ND didn't get in, right? When you look at it, it's like, all right, they mollywopped Arkansas by 45, an Arkansas team, Dan, that went toe-to-toe with A&M pretty much for 4 quarters.
Yep.
But, yes, at the end of the day, you lost to Miami, and you had the same record.
Yep.
It sucks. It sucks. And yeah, I get it. Brady Quinn tweeting out like, I had Notre Dame that week 2, that A&M game. And yes, was there a blatant hold on that last play of the game when A&M scored? Yeah, there was. But I'm sorry. That's the way it fucking goes sometimes. Beat Miami week 1 or don't schedule the fucking game. I don't know what to tell you.
Yep. So okay. So that's my other thing I was going to say. Now we have to talk about teams like Texas because Texas scheduled Ohio State. They don't lose to Ohio State week 1. They're in. Texas is in over everyone. So this is now what happens. We have 2 options. We can expand the field, right? We can expand the field even more, or we can stop scheduling these games. Notre Dame's not going to play Miami. Ohio State's not going to play Texas. I want those games. So if that's the way it's going to be, I'm okay expanding the field to 24 and making it an FCS type tournament. Okay.
And just get rid of, and just fucking go down to, they ruined it years ago when it went from 20 bowl games to fucking, I don't even know how many, what is there, 45 now? They ruined it then. Back in the day when all the bowl games mattered, before fucking Christian McCaffrey came and said that he was opting out. And I mean, that started this whole bullshit process.
Yep. 100%. So,
he was another one, those 2.
Yep. On under. Now, K-Man saying, here's the fix. Number 1, Notre Dame stop being a bitch and join the ACC. I mean, again, no, they signed their contract, so that's not happening. They only have themselves to blame. 2,
and they got all the money themselves.
Fix the conference tiebreakers to include CFP rankings. Here's my problem. You're going to have insane bias in those again. So now you want to put Texas in the SEC championship over Bama. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't, I'm not okay with that either. I don't want that either. So I hate number 2, Caveman. Sorry. 3, put the F and Pac-12 back together. I mean, that's over. We're going to try, but I think that's over. So whatever. Right. Sabi checking in. It sucked because Notre Dame win it all. 100%. I again think they're a top 5 team, but they have no one to blame but themselves. If Texas beats a bad Florida team, they would have been. Also true. Also fair, Charlie. I can't disagree with you. But if they don't play the Ohio State game, which is what they say, they're also in. So you can look at it one of 2 ways: beat Florida, sure, or don't play Ohio State and play some fucking cream puff, and to win both ways. What's the easier way to do? Play the cream puff. I mean, that's what I mean. So that's where we are. That's where we are.
And I agree with Titan CT too, right? I mean, you're right. If we expand it to 16, there's going to be a couple teams that were sitting here next year on this same
doing
show.
The same thing.
Same exact thing, right? So it's a very good point that he made.
So Ethan said, I'm all for conference championships. That's it. Bama got crapped on. We watched different games then. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Here, I'm going to give you guys a hint about football. When you're down 21-0, rushing yards don't matter. Also, when your quarterback gets sacked, you lose rushing yards. This is not the NFL, okay? So it's a dumb fucking argument. I hate this fucking argument. Bama went to Georgia this year and won in Georgia. Name me a better win in college football this season.
You can't.
You can't. It's the best win in college football this year, man. There is no other better win. So, yes, they lost to Florida State. I bet Florida State. I was against this guy in Florida State. I bet Florida State, 14.5 week 1. I said that this is an insane line. It doesn't matter. We're now gonna penalize Bama for not getting in because they have to play an extra game against a top 5 team in the country, which they wouldn't have played if Texas A&M had just. I mean, this is just insane. It's insane to me. Bama should be in. They have the best win of the season. Yes, they lost to a bad Florida State team. If you're going to start ruining, if you're going to say, oh, we have to leave them out because of the conference championship game, then we're never going to play conference championships. Just choose a lane. Choose a fucking lane. Okay. My lane is I want the conference championship games. So if you're in the top 9 of the field or top 10, whatever, and you're in a conference championship game, you're not penalized. That would have been the deal this year for me. And guess what? I agree with the committee's decision. Okay. You know what the committee didn't penalize? They didn't penalize Ole Miss, even though they lost their head coach. They didn't play in a conference championship game. Okay. Who would I rather have? I'd rather have Bama over Ole Miss because they lost their fucking coach. Bama in Oklahoma. I know Oklahoma won head to head. Who I think is a better team? Pick them right now. Guess who I'm going to bet? It's not Oklahoma. Okay. So I'm telling you right now, I'd rather have Bama. Like, again, if we can start doing this with every single fucking team,
doing it with every team.
It's ridiculous. So anyways, those are my thoughts. I think that we kind of got the point across there, but I agree with you, CT. Like, the flip-flopping is insane. The only reason I bet Miami is because that bitch said Tuesday, hey, we're not gonna count the head-to-heads until after everyone's resume is complete. And I was like, that's insane. That's fucking insane. But somehow everyone missed it. I guess I don't know how they missed it, but everyone missed it. But so here we are. Anyways, do you have anything else? Any other thoughts from last week?
So I guess because you and I haven't talked about the game since it happened, so I'll give my thoughts to the Big Ten championship. Okay, because everybody knows I did not think that there was a chance that Indiana would win that game. I was very confident that Ohio State would win that game. With that being said, the people that are saying that Ohio State didn't want to win that game, I disagree with. Ohio State wanted to win that game, but here's the thing. This is just my opinion, Dan. Right, going into that game, I think that Coach Day's, the way he approached it was, we can beat this team with a very vanilla game plan, and we don't have to show out, and we don't have to, show the world everything we got. Dan, how many trick plays did he do? One.
Well, did they
one
at the end of the game, right? It was at the end,
okay, and I just think they wanted to win, but at the end of the day, I think that, like, when the game was getting down to it, and Sayan's knee goes down on that fourth down, and then instead of going for it, which I thought he was gonna go for it, he was too. Like, I was surprised. In the playoffs, he fucking goes for that. I think that it just kind of started to settle into him a little bit, like, all right, well, you know what? It doesn't really fucking matter if we lose this game. Let's just kick the field goal. My D will play strong here, and we could probably win it with another field goals. Obviously, I didn't talk to him. That's what I think was going on in his head. And then at the end of the day, after they lost, like, it meant the world to Indiana. But at the same time, it's like, all right, who gives a shit? We're still the number 2 seed, and we could go, still win the national championship. And we beat Michigan, which is our number 1 goal of the year. And number 2 is to win the Natty. You know what I mean? So a lot of people ask me what I thought about that. I think if they play that game tomorrow, Dan, in the playoffs, I think IU might get boat raced.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So I saw the spot and said they're going to beat Michigan and they're going to party their fucking ass off. And Indiana's better than people think.
You did call that. Yep.
And I think Indiana, I said it's going to be a 1-score game, which is exactly what I said before the game. I said 1-score game either way. I had Ohio State to win the game, but I hated it. I hated it. And I stuck with it, but I hated it.
Yeah.
I think Indiana's really good. I think Indiana's probably, in my opinion, I have them power rated as the number 2 team in the country right now. That's where I have them.
That D-line was very impressive.
They're
5 times.
Yep. Yeah. They also, Cooper went out early in the game and they still won. He's a big part of their offense too. Yep. So they did good. They played a good game. Ohio State played terribly. I'm going to keep saying this till the cows come home. Julian Sain's the most overrated player in college football. I don't think it's even remotely close at this point. He's a good quarterback. He's not elite. He is a guy who is made up of the offensive talent around him. He's a product of Bo Jackson and Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate and even Max Clare. I think he's a really good quarterback. I don't think he's great. And I think he will be. I just don't think he,
yeah.
I just don't think he is yet. I think he's, I think he's that guy who's going to take the next step and be probably elite next year. He'll probably be amazing next year.
Yeah, next year he's going to be elite for sure.
I just don't think he is yet. And I think that was very obvious in that game. They didn't trust him at certain times and whatever. It is what it is.
I also think, right, Dan, also another good thing for us. Everybody on ESPN just said the Eagles are going to win tonight. 6 across the board.
Love that.
I'll leave you with this last thought on
Yeah.
Ohio State, and then you could say whatever.
Sure.
So the game's 7-3, and I'm sure you'll remember it.
Yeah.
Sayin had a wide open Jeremiah Smith, underthrows him.
Yeah.
That would have went for 14-3. That's what they do all year long. He underthrew him. It was a bad throw.
Yeah.
If he gets the ball to him, it's 14-3, and you're getting the ball at halftime.
Probably
I don't see Indiana coming back.
Yep. Again, I just think that him missing that type of throw, that's kind of what I mean this year. I think he did it against Texas. He did it against Washington. He even did it against Illinois a little bit. Any pressure in his face, he kind of shits his pants a little bit. He'll get better. He's going to be great. I like him. I just don't think he's.
I agree. You and I watch every single Ohio State game. We dissect it. Dan, they played fucking awful, and they lost 13 times.
I think arguably the worst game they played.
They played awful.
You might be able to convince me that they played worse in Washington, especially the first half. I think that's
bad. The first half, right?
I mean, again, that no doubt about it. They were terrible in that game. I agree. If these two teams re-meet in the championship, which is the only place they can meet is in the championship game, I'll be on Ohio State without a doubt. Assuming the number's not absolutely absurd, I'll be on Ohio State laying the points. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't either.
I think Indiana won their Super Bowl, baby. That's the Super Bowl. I think you could see them be one and done. I think that's a realistic possibility, honestly. I also think that it could be 2 and done, but I do not think they're making the championship game. I do not think they're making it back to Ohio State. So I'll simply say that. I do not think that's going to happen.
I also think Ohio State's going to have their hands full with Georgia too.
Yeah, that's going to be a fucking great game. So
awesome.
All right, let's get into the games. We're not going to talk about the playoff games this week, okay? We're not going to talk about them.
We'll got plenty of time.
Plenty of time to talk about. We'll talk about them next week. So let's get into the Bet 105 games of the week, CT.
This Monday opener episode of the Boston Handicappers Network is brought to you by Bet105.ag. With the most competitive odds in the business, go check out Bet105.ag. Be on the lookout for the Boston Handicappers' best bet on the site, where Bet105 will be boosting odds on our favorite play each and every week. We got to get that back rolling this week, while also offering -103 juice in major games all year long. And go check out the player prop section, where Bet105 is giving out -110 odds on both sides of player props during primetime NFL games as well. Tonight, Monday night, you still got time.
Yep.
An absolute must for prop bettors. Bet105.ag, where the pros play, and use code BostonH when you go over to sign up. Give you a nice little free bet.
There you go. Let's get into the games. We'll start with the first bowl game of the year, CT. 197-198, Washington and Boise State, which is weird bowl game. This one has taken off in the past about 45 minutes here. So this number is no longer liable. By just to answer this question, is Bet105 legal in Connecticut? No, Bet105 is not legal anywhere. They're an offshore book. It's basically in the gray area.
But you can sign up any state.
You can sign up in any state. Don't worry about it being legal or not. Everyone uses them. That's the way that the legal market has wanted it. Correct. Here we are. So, all right, let's talk about 197-198, Washington, Boise State. This is out at Bet105. Washington -9.5, -113, 51.5 is the total. So my guess is there's probably been some information leaking about who's going to play this game. I would be surprised if Boise State's players didn't play in this one. They don't have a ton of pro prospects. They have a few, especially defensively. So maybe those guys won't play. I assume Madsen's probably in on this game.
Yeah, I would too.
I think this number probably is ridiculous.
That's what I'm thinking as well. Unless we're missing something here. Circa and Superbook, Dan, are still sitting at 8.
Yeah, Circa's still sitting 8. I don't know. My initial lean, based upon no information about the game, I don't know who's playing, who's not. So I'm not even going to try and pretend like I am, because I have absolutely nothing.
Same.
But just based upon my projections and who I would expect to play and who I would expect to not play, I would be all over Boise here. This means a lot to them. These games kind of fucking matter.
I think it matters for the head coach, Spencer Daniels, too. You see him talking after they won the Mountain West. That guy, he's going to be a good coach somewhere else, Dan. Obviously, unfortunately for Boise, he's not going to be there very much longer. Somebody's going to snag him and pay him.
Unless Boise decides to move to a Power 5 program, which has been rumored. I don't think it's going to happen, but obviously Pac-12, whatever. But yeah, I mean a real Power 5. So we'll see what happens with the Pac-12. That'll be interesting moving forward. But yeah, I lead Boise here. I think the number I think you wait on this one. I think it probably gets to 10.
It probably does, yeah.
Or higher, depending on who plays. Just be patient here. I wouldn't be in a rush to do anything here with this one. We're leaning Boise. So it's as simple as that.
Same.
Let's talk about the big game this week. Army Navy, 453, 454. Army currently a 6-point favorite. This was out to 6.5 yesterday. Bet 105 does have our Navy minus 6.5, minus 101. So this should be Navy Army. I'm sorry, but I call it the Army Navy game, so whatever. But Navy is currently the favorite in this one, not Army. Navy minus 6.5, minus 101 at Bet 105. Total sitting 39, juice to the under, minus 115 at Bet 105. So I will also be on the dog in this one. I'm going to be on Army. I think Army has been a decent football team this year. I think they've been a little bit underrated. Like, they have some bad losses. Don't get me wrong. The Tulsa loss was horrible, right? But they come back. They beat UTSA in that game. I thought that was a good win. They battled through the Air Force game. I thought that was a good win. Early in the year, like people forget, they brought North Texas to overtime, which was, they lost by 7 to Tulane. I think both Tulane and North Texas are power rated significantly ahead of where Navy is. And, they haven't been great. I'm not sitting here telling you they've had some clunkers. The Temple and Tulsa clunkers were absolutely terrible at times this year, CT, no doubt about it. But, they beat Kansas State earlier this year. Like, I know they lost to Tarleton. They were a good FCS program, though.
They were.
I look at their resume. I kind of think this number is a little silly. This gets the 7. Army will be a hammer bet for me. I like the dog here. If it doesn't get the 7, our Army will be the side I'm on in this game. No doubt about it. I know Caveman saying it's fucking Navy, yada, yada, yada. Navy, Caveman, shut the fuck up, okay? Like, seriously. I love you, but my God. I know you're a huge Navy guy. Navy I know they blew out Memphis, okay? And they beat South Florida 100%. They got their fucking doors blown off by Notre Dame in a non-competitive game. They got their doors blown off by North Texas in a non-competitive game. They almost lost to Air Force after being up an insane amount in that game. They struggled versus Florida Atlantic. Like, these two teams have pretty similar resumes. The Tulsa game, I'll give them early in the year, but they beat Temple by 1 point, same as Army. Like, they have pretty similar resumes. With this one, I think this is a bit of a ridiculous number. I'll be on Army in this game. Fuck Navy, go Army.
So, our Army, I think, has been a lot better since Helms has got the reins under center there. They had the QB problems at the beginning of the year. They finally said Helms is going to be their guy. They've been better since then. Like the way that Navy closed the year. 2 nice wins there. South Florida, Memphis. Dan, I think this is one of the only games that you and I agree on where we're allowed to do this. Hand up. I did it, and it's tonight. I teased the Chargers plus 8.5 and Navy down to -0.5.
How about that?
I'm okay with that. That's what I did. The Chargers number is kind of gone now. You and I got our CLV +3 trophy in our hand, and I when it was 2.5 today, I did do that. So hand up if you don't have my blessing. I don't really give a fuck if I don't have your blessing.
Fair, totally fair enough. Yeah, and look, the total is low enough that you could consider a tease in this situation. Again, I still think that I think these two teams are closer than.
Army's not going to roll over. I agree with your breakdown. This is going to be a tough fight for Navy.
I made the game 4, which is the opener was 4.5. I made the game 4, then goes closer to the opener than current numbers right now. Gets to 7. Army will be definitely an absolute hammer play for me. But either way, I'll be on Army. Probably the under. We'll see. I haven't gone deep dive into the total yet, but probably the under. As long as it's probably about 37.5, we'll see. I don't love anything in the under or the total there, so we'll see. All right, let's get to the NFL. I know we have Monday Night Football kicking off in a few minutes, so we'll try and go real quick here. 463, 464, Bills and Pats, pick them. We'll definitely talk more about this one on Wednesday night with the podcast. I'm going to simply tell you this. The game means a fuckload more to Buffalo than it does to in New England. Pats are off the bye. They're definitely in a better situational spot. They didn't have to go balls to the walls to beat Cincinnati. So I lean them. I like that the fact that they're in those situations there. I like the fact they got healthier. I like the fact they've been able to game plan for this game. I also like the fact that it means more for Buffalo. So to be honest with you, I probably won't end up betting this game. Probably just be a game that I watch. If I had to bet the game right now, probably be Buffalo, just because I think they're starting to play better. But I don't think I'll end up betting the game, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. I was on Buffalo -5.5 yesterday. Looked like it was dead the whole game, right? And then all of a sudden they're up fucking 11 and with 5 minutes left. And I'm like, wow, am I actually going to cover this game? Anyways, did not. Obviously, they win by 5. Good second half adjustments by the Bills. They're probably the best second half team in the NFL right now. Problem is defense has problems, right? If Burrow doesn't give them those 2 gifts, they probably lose that game.
Yep.
But that's the team I like to back, right? Going into this weekend, Dan, the team that everybody's like, well, the Bills D sucks. They're not going to be able to stop the Pats. That's the team I like to bet in the NFL. With that being said, my NFL was awful yesterday. I lean Bills as of this time right now.
Yeah, I get it. It happens. I lean Bills there too. So, all right, 465. I missed the 4 there. 466. Ravens and Bengals. Ravens a 2.5-point favorite, juiced to -120. We're probably going to see some 3s pop pretty soon. Yep. 52 is the total in this one. Ravens obviously lose to the Steelers. I think the Bengals season is pretty much over at this point. T. Higgins ruled out with a concussion. He's probably not ruled. Yeah, I guess has a concussion, isn't ruled out, but I'm assuming this is probably it for them. I think, it's a must win for the Ravens. Again, another
last chance.
Yeah. So would lean Baltimore, probably won't get there, but would lean Baltimore.
Saying that team is just fucked me all year long outside of week 1, Dan, when I had the Bills and I wake up lucky. I have just not been able to get Baltimore right. What a disaster without as much talent as they have on that team. I think that maybe if they don't get in the playoffs, Dan, I think it might be time to finally part ways with Harbaugh. I always think that he was such a great coach and, had these guys, bought in, and I think the time might be up.
I agree. If they don't get in, I think it's maybe just time for a new voice. I still think he's a great coach.
Yes.
I just think might be time for a new voice.
Change. Yeah.
He'll get hired in a hot second somewhere else, but it's time. All right, 467, 468 Chiefs and Chargers. Speaking of hot fucking messes, Kansas City 4.5-point favorite against the Chargers. We haven't seen obviously what LA is going to look like tonight. Big, obviously watching Herbert with the hand injury, seeing what he's going to look like is pretty important. I can tell you right now, in a fucking prayer, I'm betting Kansas City at this number. I can't.
I agree.
Do it. Yeah,
can't do it.
Yeah, they're on the no bet list of this number. It's just absolutely fucking ridiculous. So
I had to learn my lesson the hard way a few times this year. I can't. I want to see what happens tonight, but there's no way I could lay it with KC in that spot.
Yeah, not at that number. I picked and choose my spots with KC this year. I'm actually profitable in Kansas City this year, which is crazy. But I just it's a tough spot to want to back them in. I think it's a tough NFL week in general.
It is.
I agree. 471, 472, Seattle and Indy. I only put this game up because we had to talk about Philip Rivers potentially being the fucking quarterback for the fucking Colts thing coming in because obviously DJ has the Achilles. I do feel really bad for him. He was fucking balling out, so I do legitimately feel bad for him. And then of course, the kid from Notre Dame there, Riley Leonard, thank you. Yeah. Looked great. I thought it looked great, and then he got banged up.
Life there.
So brutal.
44 years old, haven't played in the league since 2020, and they're going to work him out. I mean,
desperate times,
desperation. I don't know what is.
Yeah, desperate times. Absolutely fucking crazy, man. I don't know who the Colts are going to start. I'm assuming it's not going to be Anthony Richardson at this point. So I don't know what they're going to do.
Don't you think even though whoever starts, doesn't the totals seem a little low?
It does seem a little low.
I don't know.
I mean, you're talking about defensive score at least there,
Right?
So, John talking about, he just jumped in the pod, likes Philly tonight. We're against you, John. We have Chargers +3 from Wednesday. So, but yeah, I do agree with Sabi here. It is a must, or Sabro, excuse me, is a must
absolutely,
watch if he starts. 100%,
for sure.
100%. I gotta fucking watch.
Doesn't he? He has like 15 kids. He's probably just begging to get out of the house. All right, babe, I'm going back in.
I get it. I don't blame him. I totally understand. I totally understand. All right, 473, 474, probably the game of the week.
Yeah.
Close. It's right up there. Packers Broncos. Packers currently -2.5, -115 in Denver. I'll just be straight up honest with this one. This is Green Bay or nothing for me.
Yeah.
I probably won't bet it. This is the type of game that I hate backing Bowen. Just fucking hate backing him in these type of situations. Coming off a big divisional win. I know obviously Green Bay just had a fucking monster. They're just playing well, man. They look like they're playing well. Packers are nothing for me. I probably won't bet this one either. I got to be honest. I don't think I'm going to bet a lot of the NFL this week, which I love the NFL last week. I bet a lot of the card, did pretty well this week. Not so much.
Yeah, I bet a lot of the card last week, didn't do so hot. I'm with you. Packer nothing here right now. Like the way that they're letting Love get loose and air the ball out. I think if they stay aggressive and they don't go back to their conservative ways like they were a little bit at the beginning of the year, this Pack team will keep rolling. This is where you see Love. I mean, he's finding these wideouts, Stan, that you never even heard of before. This is Love's time right now. Denver, I just can't get behind it still. I get it. It's a cool story. They're rolling just like the Patriots are here. I think they're going to run into some problems this weekend.
Yeah, Broncos are a home dog. This is just not. And again, I like them backing them in that situation, but this is a clearer situation. I think you probably stay away from that. Personal opinions, up to you. All right, Steelers Dolphins. Steelers a 3.5 point favorite. 41.5 is the total here. This is the Monday Night Football game. I bet the Dolphins last week. I love them in that game. It was an awesome bet. They rolled easily. I'm surprised how well the Steelers played. This feels like a legit letdown spot for Pittsburgh. And this is what I may end up getting involved in here. They have the Lions on deck Sunday in a 4:25 game on the road in Detroit. They'll be coming off a short, basically a short week in that one. So I think this is, and they're coming off just a monster win. This is probably Miami here for me. I haven't gotten there yet. I think it's probably Miami. I think I probably want to wait till to see if I can feel a 4 pop. We're seeing some 3 -115s out there, seeing some 3 -105 out there. So they're both going both ways. 4 would definitely be a bet for me in Miami. I made the game 3 as is. So 4 would definitely be a bet for me. I kind of think Miami has a good situational spot to beat them and has the offensive personnel to beat them. I'd like to hear how Etienne is feeling after the game. He obviously didn't finish the game. I don't know if it was precautionary or not. That's probably going to be something I'd watch before I make that bet. At some point, I just don't think Pittsburgh's good. I've been kind of on that train all year. But yeah, let's see what happens there. Before we go,
I agree with your whole breakdown. I have nothing more to add.
Do you, for coming from Ethan, any playoff Super Bowl futures you guys see current value on? I mean,
I'm kind of happy with where I'm at right now. Niners and Packers.
I kind of think the Niners are pretty sneaky good right now.
Yeah, if you could get healthier on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, shit, no one's really impressing me. And, the Rams just lost to the Panthers 2 weeks ago. I get it. They bounced back nice, but I think it's wide open, Dan.
Yeah, I think, to me, the way I look at it, and NFC is wide open. I think there's going to be a shitload. There's just so many powerhouses in the NFC. I think legitimately anyone can win that conference. I think the AFC is going to come down to one of 3 teams. I think it's going to be 3 favorites. I think it's going to be Buffalo, or it's going to be New England, or it's going to be Denver. I happen to like Denver the most because I like defense in the postseason, especially
if you have to go to Denver.
Yeah, especially if you have to go to Denver. I don't think you will. I think that game will be here just based upon the schedule and what's looking forward and everything. Assuming both teams lose next week, I still think you're in a good spot. Denver wins next week, maybe nah. But yeah, I still think you're in a good spot. I'm not ready to believe the Patriots are a Super Bowl Yeah,
thought it was
but
surprising.
here we are.
Yeah.
So I think the AFC is a little
I
bit more
still think the
divided.
Bills are in a good spot.
I agree, but I still think the AFC is probably a little bit more divided. I think right now, given the playoff field right now, Buffalo, New England, Denver would be the only three teams I would bet at this time, and the value on them is terrible on all three. So
yep, I agree.
I think that's it for me. Unless you have anything else tonight, CT, that's it for me.
No, that was good. We have the pod on Wednesday. We covered the football playoff, the whole committee and everything well enough, and I thought that was good. That was a nice, good show.
Yep, I agree. I'm being told. Better believe, Dan. Yeah, I show me Josh McDaniels in January. I'll show you a guy who doesn't. I almost said a very bad word there. Who fucking doesn't know what he's talking about outside of Tom Brady.
I would agree with Sab there. That Texas defense is fucking dangerous. The Texans D, but I mean, I still don't see it from Stroud. He did make some throws yesterday that made you. Wow, that was a hell of it. But then he made some passes.
But the fucking miss late in the game. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, it went right over his head.
That's a game-winning throw. You got to make those throws. And Stroud is really good. And everyone's talking about the Texans as a sleeper. Yeah. Wake me up when they actually face a team who has some sort of offensive potential, because those are the games they've gotten their fucking shit pushed in. And
agreed. But they've been playing some good. It's been impressive what they've done since starting 3-5.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. But I think again, Buffalo and New England, Denver out of the AFC, probably the only teams I think you can convince me of anyone in the NFC. I'm not kidding. You can convince me of literally anyone. You could say, if you told me like, oh, Seattle made it, I'd be like, yeah, I can totally see that. If you told me that fucking Carolina made it, I'd be like, that's crazy, but I can see. I think anyone could fucking make it in the NFC. So, anyways,
it's gonna be a really good playoffs, I think, because it's just no one has really taken the lead and been head over heels above anybody this year.
Fun year parody. All right. 52 minutes, 30 seconds. Let's call it the end of the show. We will talk to you all Wednesday. Podcast will be out Thursday afternoon. We'll catch you all then. Have a great night. Cast some fucking tickets. Let's go.